Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Forgive me if I look a bit rough. That's because I just recovered from having COVID in 2024. Very weird. For today's video, I want to talk about the recent Madison documentary that got released on Netflix and what I thought about it. To not beat around the bush, I think the documentary was a weird shit show. It had all of those Netflix okay, right, let's start from the beginning. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. It's about the rise and fall of Madison, the website where you can have an affair with someone else if you're married. So it details the time it got hacked and all the names got released. There were 2 data leaks. That's the crux of the documentary. The documentary had all those kind of like classic Netflix tropes, you know, like in the beginning, in the first episode, someone sits down and says something like quirky or self-aware, I guess to show that they're human. Like, I understand the function of it is to humanize the person or to show them human, or like kind of make it look as though like it's more rough and raw than it actually is. Netflix is just annoying me at the moment. Like, if you've seen one documentary, you've seen them all. You know the format, you know the beats, right? Anyway, this documentary was fucking weird because it was so obvious from the summary and the taglines alone that it was going to be sympathetic to the cheaters. Now, I would say I'm pretty liberal. Usually when I see people talk about media having an agenda, like everyone has an agenda, sure. But you know, you roll your eyes a little bit. It's like, oh, sure, Mark Zuckerberg has an agenda to normalize AI because he's actually a lizard person and wants to eat us. Sure. Why am I rolling my eyes like that as if I don't totally believe that? I don't think he's a lizard, actually. I think he's a robot sent from the future. But this so has an agenda of normalizing cheating. It's really weird. The description on Netflix says, when a dating site for people seeking adulterous affairs is hacked, millions of users' intimate data is exposed, wrecking marriages and destroying lives. Those people destroyed their own lives the moment they signed up to a cheating website. Like, why are you trying to make me feel bad for them? Because it didn't work. I found it funny more than anything. The documentary throws a massive pity party for the cheaters rather than, I don't know, the scorned spouses, the children whose lives they've ruined. I've half a suspicion that the documentary makers were like named in the Madison leak. It's the only headcanon that makes sense to me. So we follow a few people in this 3-part documentary. The main couple is a YouTuber couple called Sam and Nia. They are fundies, like Christian fundamentalists. And their story is a weird one, actually, because it's about how he signed up for the website years before they rose to YouTube prominence. And then he got exposed for being on it. But then it kind of turns out that he was a cheating dirtbag all along. So it doesn't really, besides him being exposed on Madison, it's not like it really has that much to do with Madison. Like, he was cheating without the help of a website. Anyway, they've both clearly agreed to sign up to this show for exposure for their YouTube channel. They've made several videos since yapping about themselves being on the show with clickbait titles. I'll do a separate video on it after this. And since the show, they are promoting an autobiographical book about how they got through his cheating. And look, I'm not an expert on the Bible, but apparently in the scripture, adultery is like the only thing God's cool with you divorcing over. So, and there's a theme in this show of Christians signing up for the website, but then their wives staying with them. Even though like the big man upstairs would be on your side if you chose to divorce. It's so weird. Anyway, I got that information from Reddit. Not sure how true it is. Not going to read the Bible to find out. Sorry. Sam basically says in the beginning, the reason he signed up for Madison is he was bored of the monotony of his marriage and he thought he'd get more out of life, or he was meant for more despite being boring, untalented, and not that bright himself. I don't care. So he signs up for an account and speaks to women. He speaks to so many women, he actually has to start like going out of his area because he just exhausts all of them. Whilst his wife stays at home and looks after their children. I don't know, that good old fashioned Christian loving. Then he and Nia go viral for the first time, singing a like lip syncing a Frozen song together. And by the way, they titled their video "Good Looking Couple Lip Syncs to Frozen." So that's not obnoxious at all. Anyway, the attention that he gets from going viral and having a successful YouTube account thereafter is enough for him to not be a cheat anymore, apparently. It fills the need for attention that he was severely lacking. He realizes that he can milk his marriage and family and life for views, and that gives him a new lease for life. The documentary shows one of like these videos that they go viral for, where he tests Nia's pissy toilet water with a pregnancy test, and it comes back as positive, you know. So then he's like, hey, you're pregnant. He surprises her with it, and apparently that was actually faked for views. The show neglects to mention that part, though, that allegedly it was faked for views. Throughout the episodes, when Nia is talking about Sam's extramarital proclivities, she seems to have almost this air of boys will be boys. For men, it's natural for them to be curious, and I can accept that. Like, that's her attitude towards Sam cheating on her, as if women never get horny, or women never have urges, or as if there aren't some men out there who never cheat. They exist. If you don't know them, it's kind of weird. What can I say? When Sam comes clean to Nia about having an account on Ashley Madison, she starts saying how she was the perfect wife because she decided to work through it, not hold it against him, and have sex with him like that very same night. You know, unlike all the other women that just wouldn't. It's giving weird, like, puritanical pick me. Like, babe, get a backbone.
I'm here to clarify some of this with you guys because I owe it to you. I did make the account. I made the account 2 years ago. This was brought to my wife's attention. She has forgiven me for this mistake that I made in opening the account. I've sought forgiveness to God, and He's forgiven me. So I've been...
I guess we'll have to take his word for it. It's revealed by like episode 3 that he didn't just have an account, but supposedly, allegedly, never meet up with women. That ties in later as well, because it turns out there were actually like not that many women on Ashley Madison. They're all bots. This good Christian man frequently would go to strip clubs and massage parlors, I assume for happy endings and not a usual deep tissue massage. And he would cheat on with Nia. He would try it on with her friends to the point that he even caused her best friend to cut contact with her because he kept like harassing these women. He was sexually harassing, and she stands by him through the pick me. Like, the bloke is such a pathological liar. I mean, right, there's a spectrum of cheating, sure. And I have a zero tolerance policy to all of this, but there is a spectrum. You know, there's like your emotional affairs, which for some people that's worse than actually shagging someone. Fair enough. Whatever like floats people's boats, I suppose. There's your drunken kisses, which are still bad. There's your maybe one-time thing versus a consistent pattern. This bloke was consistently trying it on with not strangers, but people that were close to Nia. There is something really fucked up. I can feel that good Christian ears being like, heavens to Betsy at the swear words. There's something really kind of sinister about pathologically going after someone's friends who you're in a relationship with, like trying to cheat and maybe successfully cheating, sure, with your partner's friends. Like, these aren't random strangers. Like, there's a scale and a spectrum to cheating, and I would think that, because that's double betrayals in it, that would be more hurtful than them shagging a stranger. There's something not right with this bloke's targeting system. Either he's a sex addict or he's very malicious, right? Which is very at odds with the I'm a good Christian, family man, Christian values. I saw on Reddit that apparently he's very judgmental and homophobic, which, sure, of course. But I can't speak for that because I don't watch their content. But, like, you know, that sinister behavior is so at odds with, I mean, are you surprised? I'm not surprised. It's always those people who sit there in, like, their ivory tower that are Like, it's always these religious conservative men who are trying to, like, shag 20-year-olds on cocaine. Do you know what I mean? But at the end, we get treated to shots of them being happy together because she stays with him. Like, babe. They go to marriage counselling, which is really just them speaking with the church pastor. So you know that she got pressured into staying by the church. Which, again, apparently in the scriptures, God is on your side. He is A-OK with divorce if adultery is afoot. So, and in the documentary, when she finds out about the Ashley Madison league, she says the first thing she says in the talking head is she was so angry that he was risking everything they had built, which is a funny way to phrase it, innit? And by built, she means their YouTube channel. Like, I promise you, 2.5 million followers isn't worth being disrespected consistently for years, and now so publicly. And it's funny because some of the comments on their videos are really trying to frame it as he made a mistake years ago. That's not a mistake. That's a pattern of behavior. Like, at best, he's cheating with lots of different women, and at worst, he was sexually harassed her best mate into them not being friends anymore. Again, remember the spectrum that I was talking about? It's not as if, like, oh, maybe he cheated once when he was a teenager, which, snore. Like, seems like a massive deal at the time. I'm not saying it's not, but, like, teenagers, you know. It's not like, oh, he only, quotations, did it one time. He did it for years, consistently. Like, congratulations, guys. Your children are going to grow up one day and watch that documentary if you let them go on Netflix. And the boys in your family will understand that it's okay to treat women like absolute shit because God has obviously put you here to test them, right? And the girls will understand it's okay to be treated like shit because that's just what men do, apparently. They have natural urges that they can't help. It's so funny, all of those toxic men who parrot that idea that, well, biologically speaking, men want to spread their seed and blah, blah, so it's natural for them to want to cheat, but apparently it's unnatural for women to want to cheat, even though evidence can suggest otherwise about our earlier tribes when we're hunter-gatherers. Like, they always want to regress back to anti-intellectualism when it comes down to sex, you know? And yet I don't see any of them giving up their homes to go live in caves. So it's like, if you want to regress in one aspect and not accept the fact that we are logical, rational beings, emotional beings as well, to a point, but we can reason. Animals can't reason. We can reason. We can talk. We can philosophize. But they want to regress back to that, but they don't want to give up their houses and go back to living in the actual wild. It's just funny, isn't it? I would have much more respect for the men that were just like, do you know what? Yeah, I'm out of here, society. I'm going to go back to being an actual hunter-gatherer and I'm going to shag around. Like, I would respect that a lot more. I think Sam and Nia homeschool their children. So at the very least, they're not going to get bullied over this documentary at school later on. So silver linings, I guess. However, the catch there is the kids are only going to have a basic understanding of every important subject because there's no way that these people, it's not what I said in my script, have enough general knowledge to properly teach them science, maths, English, politics, etc., etc.
How do you guys feel about the fact that Ashley Madison is actually still going?
Oh, it is still going. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize
He
that.
realised that. So that's Sam and Nia. We also, in the first episode, we have a random open marriage couple who, funnily enough, have the healthiest relationship out of everyone else in the documentary. And they actually look like they can stand to be around each other. So that's nice. One was a dominatrix and the other was a guy who just likes sleeping with different women. And I believe he likes to be a sugar daddy for younger women. But they were honest to each other about their wants and needs. Fair enough. I don't really understand the relevance beyond that. But there's also this older, again, Christian woman called Christy, whose husband cheated on her for years and years and years of their marriage, and then he killed himself when his name was found on the Ashley Madison list because he had to quit working at a ministry. And obviously that's a lot more serious and by nature more sad than the other stories, right? But Christy spends more time calling all of us sinners, you know, he is who was without sin cast the first stone, and says that the hackers were self-righteous And she tries to make it about cancel culture, and she spends no time at all focusing on maybe the aspect of the Christian purity culture that maybe had the husband settling down when really he didn't want that life. I mean, kind of clearly didn't want that life if he was constantly cheating on her, right? And she says the shame killed him. But really it was the shame from his peers in the ministry and the church. You know, his good Christian neighbours. That's what he couldn't face anymore. But no, let's just blame the hackers. To be honest, there might have been, I don't want to go too much into detail with that part, just because there's probably a lot more to it than was revealed in, 10 minutes of a documentary. You know, so it's not really right for me to formulate too much of an opinion on it. There's also this bloke in the documentary with annoying glasses who just spends the whole time being like, I had no idea what was going on. But he worked quite high up in the company. So it's like, behave, BFFR. And someone in the documentary, I forget who, basically says that cheaters aren't the only ones to blame for their cheating. It's partially the spouse's fault too. What a narcissistic thing to say. Now, Noel Biderman, he is the CEO, or was the CEO of Ashley Madison, and he is so awful, so terrible, that you kind of swing back round into thinking, my God, he's brilliant, because he's just so awful. He's like a cartoon villain. He goes on loads of TV shows promoting Ashley Madison. He defends people who has affairs. He makes crazy claims, such as having an affair makes your marriage happier. He has his wife come on TV shows with him, has her face in the billboards for Ashley Madison. He says it's ironic that he's in a happy monogamous relationship with no adultery. You know, because his marriage and relationship is so good, he wants to help others because he's so good at his marriage and relationship. Of course, he was cheating on her the entire time. And sometimes with escorts. Barely legal escorts at that. Because the hackers, first they hack the website and they threaten to do the data leak. And then they do the data leak. And then after that, they leak his emails, which is where all of this stuff was found out. He was emailing escort agencies being like, you got any 18, 19-year-olds? And he's like 40-something. And the thing is, as much as the wife is a victim, because she is, I couldn't help but think, with peace and love, how dumb are you? Of course he's cheating. He's built an entire career moralizing the virtues of having affairs, apparently, and taking money off of loser men to facilitate their cheating. Of course, like, he was going on talk shows being like, it's healthy for a marriage, like, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. Of course he was cheating. Are you mad? Like, how willfully ignorant, how much cognitive dissonance must you have? I don't want to, like, blame her too much for the actions of her husband. But at the same time, even if he wasn't cheating, you're more than happy to be with this man who was helping people lie and deceive their spouses. Not great. Not a good look. Apparently they're still married too. There's no helping some people. There's also this horrible pick-me woman who works for the company, yeah? She just gloats over so many things. So sometimes wives, because it was by and large women who were the victims of their husbands cheating on them, yeah? Wives would like check their bank statements, see these payments were going off to this website, and they would call, I guess, customer service at Ashley Madison to be like, what are these bank statements? Like, what is this? What is my husband paying for? And this woman is gloating about how she would just lie, and I don't know what service she said it would provide because I was just annoyed by her face. But she said things like, I saved a lot of marriages, like, when I did that. They aren't marriages worth saving if the guy is cheating. The website was full of bots, full of just AI-generated women replying back to these horny men, these horny losers. And this pick-me woman says, like, oh, we knew that the site had bots and men were spending their money on the bots. And I don't care that the men were, like, losing their money. That's funny to me. But what a scummy company for scummy people. She also says that she felt bad for Noel Biderman being the fall guy because after this, the board made him resign from the role of CEO, and she said that she felt bad for him, but doesn't mention feeling bad for, oh, I don't know, his wife, his kids, the 18-year-old escorts that he was having sex with. No, just feels bad for him. Poor little man. Couldn't help himself. She's so annoying. It's revealed in the second data leak that the website was also committing fraud because there was an option on the website for users to wipe their data from the servers if they just paid a little more. And the emails revealed that Ashley Madison never did that. They never bothered. They were taking this money and they weren't deleting any of the data. Kind of funny, kind of iconic, kind of chaotic. The hackers themselves didn't want money. They weren't doing this for ransom. They just wanted the website to be shut down. But the company refused to. They say that they played a game of chicken. They had 30 days to shut down all operations. Otherwise, the data would be leaked. They refused to. Everything got leaked because the company, of course, cared more about the money, the millions that they were making, rather than their actual user base of people they had sworn to protect. And there are people like in the company in the documentary who, because the website had security guaranteed and we've won like security awards, they reveal that those awards didn't actually exist. It's kind of hilarious. It's also so funny to me that the site was plagued with so many bots pretending to be female, AI masquerading as women to dupe stupid men out of their money. Like, men were really out there risking their marriages over a sexy chat GPT. The ironing is delicious.
The ironing is delicious. The word is irony. Huh?
But by the end of it, because like I say, the documentary really tries to frame the cheaters in this sympathetic light. Oh no, the hackers ruined their lives. The cheaters ruined their own lives. I think the hackers fall in the chaotic good on the grid. But they have a journalist who talks about how, like, you know, journalists were digging through the data leaks to see if there were any celebrities that had signed up for the website. Spoiler alert, they had. At the end of the doc, this one journalist is like, they've blood on their hands, the hackers and Ashley Madison. The hackers didn't force people to sign up and cheat on their partners or attempt to cheat on their partners. Why have we taken away the responsibility on the people who made vows, either at a non-religious ceremony or a religious ceremony? So some of these people are making vows to, like, their God, yeah, that they would be faithful. They're gonna do it. Why is the onus not on them? Why is it on the hackers for exploiting? Because they clearly did it for their own moral code, because they didn't want money out of it, you know? But it's just crazy to me that the documentary really wants you to blame these hackers and, oh, these poor men who are cheating are such victims. The cheaters are the real victims in this scenario, not their spouses who they're risking STDs to, not their household who, when they could be spending money on, I don't know, their kids or their relationship, they were spending like hundreds of dollars a month on, because you had to spend money to earn to have tokens, current online currency, to just even message. So instead of spending their money on, I don't know, their bills or a date night for their partner, they were spending their money on talking to bots. No, it's the cheaters who should be sympathized with. It was a really weird documentary, and it wasn't even that well made either, because I've interspersed this with clips of me watching the documentary, but there were some really strange editing choices. This next bit is even worse.
Law enforcement from multiple different countries. I'm on the dark web and I come across somebody who is speaking.
That's not the dark web. That is Reddit on dark mode. Not the dark web. Different thing entirely.
Most of my clients are like government agencies. It's national security related.
Sorry, did he just hack into the Matrix? This next bit is insane.
Nothing was known about the impact to you. I specialise in speaking to cybercriminals and hackers, and I've never heard of these guys before. I don't think any of the journalists have either. I was determined to try to get hold of them. People's lives were literally at risk now. I wanted to call back the mask to understand why they're doing this.
Really, Netflix? You're going to look on Medium? Top 5 list of like how to contact a hacker. Are you joking? So all in all, I give this documentary a 1 out of 10. It had a clear agenda, but the 1 point is for the sheer entertainment value because it was funny to watch. I don't know, man. If this is the caliber of shows that Netflix are taking our hard-earned money, we pay for their subscription models to funnel into making crap like this. They should get me to make a documentary for them. It'll be better than this. Anyway, that's all for today's video. If you watched the documentary, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Were the hackers chaotic evil, chaotic good, chaotic neutral, lawful good? What were they? Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I have memberships now, so make sure you check that out. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.